everyone, welcome to the show. My name is Scott, and let's talk about 3 more movies. Yesterday is a magical realism-based comedy directed by Danny Boyle, the guy who directed Trainspotting and Millions. Himesh Patel plays Jack Malik, a singer-songwriter who is struggling to be a singer-songwriter. Lily James plays Ellie, his longtime manager and his longtime #1 in the love department. Although Jack has never really told Ellie, which makes her believe that she is clearly not his type, but they're still friends and business partners. One night, Jack is riding home on his bicycle when all the lights go out all over the world. Jack is hit by a bus. When he comes to, some things have happened. Mainly, he's knocked out 2 of his front teeth, and the Beatles don't seem to exist. His friends give him a guitar as a get-well-soon present, and he plays a Beatles song, and no one seems to know what it is. And he does multiple Google searches and always comes up with the animal, not the band. No one seems to remember the Beatles. So Jack, in a moment of desperation, decides to steal their songs. Of course, it becomes super popular because no one has heard these songs before. It's fun to watch this movie play around with contrasts. It's subtle, but it plays around with the contrasts between the music industry now and the music industry when the Beatles were around. And sure, the Beatles were a marketing juggernaut, but the cynicism is different now. Jack's newfound manager, played by Kate McKinnon, obviously doesn't care about any of her artists. She just wants to make money. So that underlying tension between artist and marketing machine is prevalent throughout the entire film. What stuck with me most was how the movie allows the music of the Beatles to be perfect, but the situations that Jack is in are not. At every turn, Jack is interrupted or something doesn't go as planned. Almost every scene has something that's not the perfect moment in it. And Jack, being romantic, wants to tell Ellie his feelings, but he wants the perfect moment. But that perfect moment keeps getting interrupted at every single second throughout this entire film. And I found that super relatable because I think we've all been in the situation where we take our favorite movie to our friends and we say, "This is my favorite movie, you guys are gonna love it." And 2 seconds in, someone's phone rings, or someone's eating popcorn loudly, or they start talking. Those moments are prevalent throughout this entire film until Jack realizes that there is perfection in imperfection, and that perfect moment, that perfect day for him to say his feelings or sing a song is never going to come, so just embrace the imperfections and go for it. And I found that to be a more relatable message than the magical realism aspect of the film. This movie spoke to me on a certain level. Super Dark Times is an unironic name for this movie. Remember Good Time? That seemed like forever ago that I watched that movie. But that name was ironic. That movie is anything but a good time. Super Dark Times describes this movie perfectly. Don't want to spoil it. It is about a group of friends that, for the first part of the movie, are just hanging out, being kids. But then there's a fight during one of their hangout sessions, and something happens to one of them, which leads to their death. We'll just say it. So one of the kids is now dead, and the other 3 have to deal with the repercussions of this. And they all deal with it with their own way, which is compelling to a point. But then the movie gets super violent, and it seems unmotivated. I mean, you can feel the tension just underneath the surface of these characters, but to the extent that this movie gets crazy, it doesn't make a lot of sense given the characters we're given. But this is a dark, brooding movie. It lives up to its name. Yeah, I'm just not going to remember it. It's not, I think it goes too far in its third act. And because of that, it lost all emotional impact for me. Snowpiercer is a 2013 sci-fi drama starring Chris Evans and Jamie Bell. It was directed by Bong Joon-ho, who we last saw as the director of Parasite. He won several Oscars. And if you saw Parasite, Snowpiercer is also a movie about the class system. But it's a little bit more clear-cut because it takes place on a train. People in the back of the train are the lower class citizens. They're given processed junk to eat, while they also live amongst junk. And as you move forward on the train, you get higher and higher class. Basic plot is Jamie Bell and Chris Evans are lower class citizens, and they've had enough of being treated the way that they're being treated. So they stage a revolt, and they move their way to the front of the train into worlds they've only ever heard about, and facing foes that are desperate to keep their power at all costs. And there's a commentary on the different ways that people can keep power. Not the highest budget movie, some of the CG stands out, but it's well orchestrated, sharp writing, good acting across the board. I found it super entertaining. I don't think it has the staying power with me that Parasite does, but it was still an entertaining world-building exercise and a good film. All right, let's rank these movies real quick. Something about yesterday spoke to me. Really enjoyed the film, thought it was a lot of fun and poignant at times. Like I said, it spoke to me. Snowpiercer number 2, another solid watch. And then obviously Super Dark Times was too super dark for me. That's all for this episode. Thanks you guys for watching, and we will see you next time.